straight at with Tim Biggin now, who is the options strategist at Pilot AI. How would you approach this one as your example trade, Tim?
Yeah, absolutely. And, as kind of Brian Nickel alluded to, right, 1 week does not a earnings boost make. So that's why you're seeing the stock kind of languish here, has been languishing for a while. Certainly the market today not providing any, tailwind also. But I just think Starbucks, the days of growth you alluded to, talking about when they came out with the pumpkin spice big hit some 20 years ago, right? They need something really to get reinvigorated from the product side, not from the customer service side. I think certainly Starbucks, can provide that, but people don't, flock in for the customer service, right? They flock in for the next hot product, and Starbucks really has languished there as well. Yet we're looking at a PE that is approaching 40 times the highest level almost over the past 3 years. So this company is built to have the turnaround be successful. I'm kind of, as Mickey Dolenz used to sing, not a believer, to paraphrase that. So I'm just going out and selling a shorter term out of the money call spread, the traditional September 91.93 call spread for around 50 cents. That was where the kind of gap from the last earnings, which were a big miss, last two earnings have been a big miss. That earnings gap should provide a little resistance here. I can't imagine the stock breaking back above where it was pre-last earnings, given the earnings miss. So I'm taking advantage of what is a little uptick in implied volatility to position somewhat bearishly if they try to run Starbucks higher here.
So it's probably going to take a little bit more than pumpkin spice lattes for the street to be convinced of this turnaround, but certainly it adds to the visibility that it is clearly happening and we're sort of getting there. I'm just wondering what you believe would be that sort of catalyst then for a little bit more conviction here to, get this going as far as that next leg higher.
Yeah, it'd have to kind of, I think, be, they came, the Frappuccino was a huge hit, especially with the younger crowd. Same with the pumpkin spice tends to, cater to maybe the younger crowd here. So I think they really have to go after that end of the market, right? Those are the ones who don't mind spending whatever to get, the drink in their hand, right? So I think developing new products rather than focusing on customer service is the key, I think, to Starbucks. Always has been. I think Brian Nickel may come to that, but, trying to provide that kind of, homey coffee shop feel. I don't think people go to Starbucks for the most part looking for that. They want to grab and go and have something they really enjoy.
Yeah, no, that is an interesting point to take into consideration, particularly as you've got some of these Chinese competitors, sort of eating their lunch as well. And, obviously the China business has got a big question mark over it too. Let's park that there. Just want your thoughts on the overall market. How are you seeing things? It's a shortened trading week, seasonally a bit tougher for September, but there's some good and bad news heading into this month. How are you assessing things as we stand?
I am absolutely a seller of rallies now here, Sam, rather than a buyer of dips. We really, for the first time, are, challenging that 20-day moving average since the last Liberation Day lows, right? Strange that, maybe the removal of tariffs may cause a little angst as well here. Certainly the placing of tariffs caused the last big sell-off. Valuations off the chart high, especially on these big cap AI names. So that's coming into question. And interest rates on the longer end, absolutely not heading lower. We'll certainly get a Fed funds cut, but for the most part, corporate America is more concerned with interest rates, from 5 years out. Those have not budged as well. So I think it'll be tough sledding here for stocks regardless. Earnings have to grow pretty rapidly to even come close to justifying the valuations we're seeing here. So I would just be a seller on rallies here, not aggressively looking for a pullback, but kind of using those old highs on the names like Palantir and NVIDIA to maybe sell out of the money call spreads as a trade structure for the foreseeable future.
All right, good stuff. Tim Biggin, really appreciate your time. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. Tim Biggin, options strategist at Pilot AI.